Get your 90% silver now. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. I've talked to 5 or 6 different coin shops throughout the country this morning, my friends. Talked to our bullion dealer itself for the shop. It's low supply. I'll leave it as that for right now. Help me out with the thumbs up. Make sure you share the video out. Don't forget, we do small giveaways every single Saturday morning videos in the 90% Silver Market Watch Report. To the last winner, I still have not received your information. You acknowledge you have won, but you have not yet provided me with your information so I can ship it out. If that does not happen by tomorrow at 12 p.m. East Coast time zone, I'm going to have to pick another winner. I see you and you acknowledge you won, but I have not yet received your information through email. So with that being said, stay tuned for that. Also, we're going to be doing a big 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Once we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're getting closer. Thank you for all the ones who subscribe. I hope everybody does subscribe to this channel. Let's get into it. 90% silver. You folks know I've been following this since day one of this channel. You know I'm very passionate about 90% silver. I'm ignoring all the people who say, I got plenty of 90% silver in my area. There's plenty of 90% silver to go around. No, there's not. There's not. Right now, the big squeeze right now on 90% silver is the 2 hot items. 90% silver Roosevelt silver dimes and 1964 Stanley hats. Those are the 2 ones that are in big warning mode right now. If you are interested in those 2 coins, you better pick them up while you can, because the supply is not coming back. Talked to one guy out west coast. He's just about out of 90% silver. He looked at his bullion dealer last night. There's very little left. He got up what he could. Talked to another guy around Montana, around that area. Won't say exactly what state. He's having a hard time sourcing it as well. People are not bringing it in, my friends. People are hanging on to their 90% silver. That is what's going on. And what he was saying, that he was trying to get it from another coin shop to stop the melt as well. He's doing a little bit of that from other coin shops. It is getting very difficult to source this stuff. I've been putting warnings out there. I got laughed at. That's fine. I got told that my coin shop's got plenty. Well, if your coin shop's got plenty, so-called plenty of 90% silver, then I suggest you go buy some more up before it's really all gone. Look, the melt rate is out the windows. Yes, some of it's not getting melted down right now because of some of these smelters, but the smaller smelters are starting to open back up again. Then they want to claim they didn't have the chemical to melt down the 90% silver. I call BS on that. I just think it was a backlog of all the dumping going on. I've done reports on silver quarters. If you add up all the silver quarters were ever minted, you divided that by the U.S. Census, the last U.S. Census we had, and you could account for every single Washington quarter. Just imagine a big pile on the White House lawn. Let's use this for an example so everybody can get the picture. And if we were all able to get every single person was on that census, and you can count for every single Washington silver quarter out there, you would get less than 8 Washington silver quarters. The math was 7.9 Washington silver quarters. So let's say 7. But guess what? There's some been lost in the ground. There's a lot overseas. A lot of it's been melted. What is really left out there? You know, I can toss a number out there. Maybe 2, maybe 3 for every single person in America. That would be about your rate of Washington silver quarters out there. I mean, I don't have the exact math. But you can do the exact math by how many were minted and how many more people were documented on the 2020 census. That's your math right there. 7.9. 7.9 per American. That's if you can count for every single one. Talk to another coin shop. He's completely out of it. Not 90. Completely out. But he don't use a dealer. He just relies on what comes throughout the doors. He says he gets it in, he sells it right off the bat. Talk to another coin shop. His experience is, what he's noticing in his shop is people, his regulars, who buy normally $5 at a time, $10 at a time, he says they're coming in buying 7. If they're buying, they normally buy 10, they get $12 or $13 face. They gain a little bit more right now. Just a little bit more. That little bit more is going to reduce the inventories, my friends. Why is 90% silver so cheap right now? I don't know. It should be a lot more. I'm surprised we're not seeing the risen of the premiums right now. I'm shocked. It's coming. All right, this should be a warning right here. It's coming. There is not enough 90% silver to go around. And if some people think that, I'm sorry. I don't agree with you. That's okay. We don't always have to agree on everything. But this is what's going on. I just checked channel sponsor Pinbacks out. They're out of Roosevelt silver dimes, as reported this past Saturday's Market Watch report. If you want the Kenley 1964 halves, the 90% silver ones, 1964s, you better grab them now. They got like $58 left. The next in line to be wiped out is the Franklin halves. They got a little bit more heavier supply right now of the walk-ins. But look, don't be seen on the sidelines here. If you want your 90, you better grab it up now, my friends. Because what I'm seeing at the shop that I work for, we're out of Kenley halves. We're getting low on Roosevelt silver dimes. Quarters don't seem to be an issue right out the gate for us right now. But we've been out of silver quarters this year. Seen Pinbacks out of silver quarters this year. This stuff is not easy to source. There's finite material left. And when the herd wakes up, when the sheep will wake up, it's going to be gone. You're not going to be able to find it. And if you are, it's going to be so sky high, people are not going to touch it. Yeah, it'll probably be on eBay. Maybe. But you got the opportunity to get it now at still as a decent price. And it's hard for us stackers that have been stacking for a while to say it's a decent price, knowing what we used to pay for this stuff. And it wasn't that long ago. We know that. The ones that have been stacking for at least since 2020. We're not going that far back. No, the prices have risen. And sometimes we sit here and think, yeah, I'm going to wait to back up the truck. I get that point when you're used to of seeing something for a couple of years about a steady price, and all of a sudden it's jumped up in price and it's doubled. Or more than doubled. These, as recording of this video, have a silver value of $21.12. It's hard for me to sit here and tell you that, excuse me, that I used to get these for $10, $10.06. Silver dimes I used to get for $2 a dime. Look where the silver dime is, silver value today, $4.14. Look, 40% silver is just as good. Take 40% Kenley halves to make an ounce of silver. Don't thumb your nose at these. Grab them before those are gone too. Because that's when we're out of 64 Kenley halves. Some people are starting to rethink about the 40s. And the 40s have ticked up and doubled in price too. Everything's doubled in price since the beginning of this year, my friends. If not a little bit more. Check out channel sponsor Pinbax for your 90% silver today. Let them know that Crazy Coin Shop Chris sent you. Get it before the price goes up. Even more. You're going to wait to $75 silver. You're going to wait to $100 silver. Jump on board. Pay double what it is now. That's going to happen. What are we going to do when we see a roll of silver quarters at $700 a roll? Why not get them at $424 right now? I'm just trying to get people to wake up, and new stackers realizing this is the time. If you got the cash, you got the means to do so. And I understand some people don't have the means to buy a full tube of silver quarters, a full tube of dimes, a full tube of halves. Get what you can. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 coins. If that's all you can afford, then do it. Don't be no shame going to a coin shop and saying, I just need a dollar space of 90% silver halves. If that's all you can afford, then do it. Just do it. Because there will be a time. There will be a time. We have already seen this time. It was almost unavailable in March of 2023. And what I've heard today from these coin shops, and that one coin shop, yes, they said they had plenty of it right now. But his prices were a lot more than Pinbax. His prices were a lot more than SD. His prices were probably the highest I've seen. I'm like, why are you so high? He says, I'm high because I really don't want to sell it. But it's available if someone won't, if they want it. So is that trying to rip off the customer? I don't know. I'll let you folks decide on that. He said he really don't want to sell it. You know, he says, that's my I don't want to sell it price. Okay, it's his business. He's got a right to do it. He's got probably the cash to hold on to it. And if someone wants to pay that ridiculous price, then they can pay that ridiculous price right now. This is why you got to shop around. This is why you can't always trust one online dealer for the best price. This is why you can't always trust your local coin shop for the best price. Now, what comes around that to be is, are you getting good customer service around this coin shop, your coin shop? Are you getting excellent customer service at your online bullion dealer? Do I sit here and claim that Pinbax has the best price on every time? No. But they got a wonderful customer service for sure. Michael and Brian are very nice guys. You know, I wouldn't have taken this sponsorship if they went down to earth and trying to do the right thing for their customers. Right? That's where I draw the line. You know, there's some online dealers out there I would never take a sponsorship from. Not going to mention their names, of course. But I would never take a sponsorship from some of these online dealers. You know, I'm not here. I don't have, people think I got a script, talk about Pinbax. I got no script. All right? They tell me, Michael tells me, and Brian tells me, just talk about the coins. Do it in your voice. Do it in your own knowledge about what we sell. That's what I do. It's free flow, my friends. I wish I could show back of me. I got no paperwork at all. I got no ledger here. Nothing. It's me telling you the truth. That's it. You know, some people think I make a commission off Pinbax sales. No. If you don't like that link I put in there, pinbax.com, it takes you the same place you would do it yourself. I got no special link where if you clicked on that link and you order from that link, it's their link. It's not no special link. So I'm being transparent as much as I can be, and that's the truth. I got no paperwork behind me talking about what Pinbax is trying to sell. So thank you, Pinbax, for sponsoring this channel, Coin Shop Chris. Thank you to you all, because it's not possible without you all. Look, this is not a ploy to make you go buy 90% silver. This is your boots on the ground action. Normally Sundays is my day I call different coin shops. The ones that we get along with at the shop that we've dealt with before in the past. And there's a little bit of difference, but most of them are saying the same gosh darn thing. There's Roosevelt silver dimes, a hot item right now, and the 1964 Tenleys are hot right now. And probably the next in line would be your Franklins for the halves, your quarters, your walking halves, your Mercury dimes get thrown in the mix somewhere. Yeah, then you start getting a little bit more in your bobbers. They carry a little bit of premium. They carry a little numismatic value if you get a good date. Some of these other ones get a new walking halves, Franklin halves, depending on the date and the mint mark and the condition of the coin. You can start seeing these prices drive up as well. So get what you like out there for your 90% silver line. Don't toss your nose. I recommend everybody listening, if you stack 90, I so-called recommend having 2 or 3 rows of 40% silvers in your stack. Because that might be the only thing you need when we get into a bottomless situation. You don't want to give up more than you have to. You do not want to give up more silver than you have to when the crap hits the fan. Really think about what you spend. Really think about it. I mean, it's about 836, 834, somewhere out there for a silver half melt value. Silver value for a 40% half. Think about how many times you run into the convenience store or wherever, and it's less than $8. Right around $8. Start thinking outside the box, my friends. Because that might be the only thing you need. You run into the grocery store. Get a gallon of milk. Get a loaf of bread. How many times we do that during the week? We need an extra gallon of milk. We need an extra loaf of bread in the house. It's about $8. Roughly. Depending on where you live in the country. Think outside the box. I highly recommend. Highly recommend. It ain't going to hurt to put a few rolls away of the 40s. It's not going to hurt to put a few rolls of the war nickels away. You know, please don't take this warning seriously. And it's not me trying to tell you go buy this stuff. Because nobody in the right mind would go into a convenience store, would go to a farmer's market, and they say, it's XYZ amount. Let's say it's $5, $4, whatever, $8, and you give them a $10 bill, and you say, keep the change. or they say they don't have the change for that $10 bill. What are you going to do? You're probably going to leave the stuff behind. You don't want to do this with silver, my friends, when the crap really hits the fan. You want the smaller fractional stuff too. Just like we do with nickels, pennies right now, dimes right now, change right now. Because when the grid goes down, how is your debit card going to work? How is your credit card going to work? How are you going to get money from your Bitcoin and your meme coins? Or maybe that goes corrupt anyways and has been hacked into and everybody loses everything. Real assets, my friends, that you can hold. You don't hold it, you don't own it. That's it. You can't hold a Bitcoin in your hand. You can't hold a meme coin in your hand. That system crashes. Your money's basically gone. Someone can hack into it. Oh, we talk about cold wallets. Well, that's already been proven that's going to be hacked into too. Unfortunately. No, I'm not for Bitcoin, meme coins. If you want those type of channels, there's other channels out there for that. I don't own Bitcoin. I don't own meme coins. I own some mining stocks. And I understand. I'm well aware the risk of holding stocks as well. Because you really don't own them. They're not in your name. I understand that. I'm watching them closely. So with that being said, there's a risk to mining stocks. There's a risk to any type of stock. Before you put your money into mining stocks or any type of stocks, do your due diligence. I don't call silver, gold, platinum, copper an investment. This is your real money. It's not an investment, in my opinion. Investment to get this back, losing dollar bills, losing value. Look, we got a rate cut coming up probably this week. What do you think that's going to do with the price of silver and gold? What do you think that's not going to do to inflation? It's not going to come all at once. You're not going to see it right off at the bat. It takes time for it to work through the system, my friends. Rate cuts are not instantly for everything. But normally when they have rate cuts, that means the economy is going in a how in a handbasket. To put it bluntly. Rate cuts are not good. That means we're going to have more inflation. Inflation means silver and gold are going to go up. Copper is going to go up. Platinum is going to go up. Keep stacking as you can, my friends. If you are new to stacking, I got another urgent announcement to make. If you are brand new to stacking, it does not come overnight. These did not come to me overnight. This took a lot of hours. Sometimes they came from my coin shop that I work for. A lot of these came from eBay because I was doing better deals on eBay than the coin shop that I work for. I go for the deals. That's how you got to shop. The deal's right for you. You are comfortable with the deal. Then pull that trigger and go get it. But don't try to compare your stack with anybody else's stack out there. Don't try to be in a rush. Because I tell you, people have come to realize at the shop that I work for, they start with a couple silver quarters in this tube. They get a couple more, they get a couple more, they get a couple more, they get 5 more, they get 6 more. It fills up very, very fast. It don't take long once you start getting going. If you're consistent of stacking, your stack will grow. Your stack will grow. Look, a lot of these I got back in 2022, 2023, 2021. And I'm still stacking a little bit here and there. And that is what we have to do, is keep being patient, stack within our means, and continue. And your stack will grow. If you folks have any questions for me about silver, gold, or platinum, reach out to me. My email's in every single description of every single video. Thank you for your time and watching. Crazy Coin Shop Chris is out.